Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Valpo Esports here on Twitch. My name's George. I'm the graduate assistant here, and we are back with another NECC matchup today. This time, it's going to be League of Legends. League of Legends has been moved to Thursday. I don't believe this was the default day last time, but we're actually getting, well, sort of close to getting into this one. They're going to be taking on Kansas State today, so. Um, Gonna be a good matchup. I think we're pretty confident going into this one. Pretty similar rank-wise from what I could see here. Obviously, as you know, this game does have the draft, so gonna be a little bit before we get into that. I believe I've got the draft link ready to go this time. I know in our last league match we got cut out and the link didn't have a spectator version, I don't believe, or I missed it, and we had some prolonged waiting. But this is going to be the first week of NECC play. Division 3 this year, promotion from last year, from my understanding. So, bit of a competition upgrade supposedly. So we'll see how it goes. This is not some of the same league that you've seen already on the channel for GLEC, League of Legends for Valpo. It is NECC. I know the words or the acronyms get a little confusing. They all sound very similar. But once we grab the ability to kind of just get into this, I'm not sure when or how soon we'll be starting. It looks like everyone's in the lobby. No drafting has started yet, but when that happens, we'll get over to it. We're basically just at the will of them. Oh no, it appears one person I think is missing, so still might be a minute. I think the League of Legends custom games client is a little bugged here and there, so gonna be waiting for that draft to start. But this is different than the games you've seen previously. If you've tuned into any Valpo League of Legends this year, this is the NECC, so it will be a fearless draft. For those of you that don't know, fearless draft means any characters that are played just can't be played further in the series. So going to be a different character for every player, every single game. I believe best of five. So first or best of three. I lied. Not best of five. Best of five, we would be here all night. We'll still be here all night with the best of three, probably. But yeah, best of three. Characters cannot be repeated. I will explain that once we get onto the draft screen. One side's ready for draft, the other side just waiting to hear from them, and then we'll get over to that draft page and be able to see. I'll show you what the fearless draft looks like. It's a little bit different. I know you'll have to bear with me here. Uh, but yeah, solo today. No Blake, who you've probably grown accustomed to. Blake is actually on this team, Diadem. So just waiting for Kansas State to get into it. No real information because neither team has played any games. This is the first game of the season for both teams, so nothing really to go off of here besides the scouting you could do based on their play when they're just playing by themselves. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in theory with the NECC. A little unlike the GLEC, these teams are placed in divisions, and these divisions are based on skill level. The league does a good job, I think, for the most part, of placing teams in divisions based on skill level to a similar degree. As you saw yesterday, though, with our Rocket League team, doesn't always pan out the right way, and it's a little bit of a slamming. So we'll see here. Going in, still waiting for Kansas State to say they're ready to draft. We're already 6 minutes past seven when the game's supposed to be starting. So, but I don't think they can get forfeited. Both teams are in the lobby. I think that it'd have to be 7:15, and then they technically lose a game if they don't start the draft. So, yeah. Um, I think I'll probably just throw it to be right back since they're taking forever, it appears. Don't really know what would take them so long. They're all in the lobby. We've been readied on our side. Oh, never mind. You speak about it and then it happens. They said ready to draft. So we are going to switch over to the draft screen and take a look here at what is going down. Kansas State going to be starting on the blue side just because they're the home team. something the league chooses. It's not based on anything, I don't think. I think they just try to give you the same amount of home and away games. So the bans for Kansas State appear to actually be target banning the support with Soraka and Lulu, a Jinx ban, and then an Ambessa ban for Valpo. So now we get into choosing, or no, wait, there's one more ban. I apologize. I went too far ahead. And then a mid ban, which does make sense. And the case of our team, our mid, Jakimbo is our best player. Talia's going to get banned. Then they're going to ban the Nocturne, which is interesting. No team has banned Nocturne so far against us this year, as far as I can believe. So now, for those of you that don't know League, it just becomes a snake draft back and forth. The champions along the bottom of the screen are champions that have been banned, not eligible to be played. The champions in the bigger boxes above that are the champions that each team picks, and they have a timer at the top. As you can see, it's counting down to choose what character they're going to go with. They're using all the time here. They're going to go with a Kali first pick, and as far as I know, that's going to have to be mid, and that is dangerous to allow the best player on a team to have a counter pick and be able to save their pick for the end, unless they plan on flexing the Akali somewhere, like top maybe. But yeah, instantly into the Morgana. I think that's going to be our mid matchup, Akali Morgana. Yeah, Rip Blake. I'm on a 3-minute delay, so you're not gonna hear that for a minute. But Blake's gonna be playing ADC in this one. I'll make sure to point it out. But Akali, Morgana, so like I mentioned, Stake Draft, Valpo is going to get that second pick kind of as a preference. I think in theory, blue team supposedly has an advantage just due to the first pick, but some teams prefer the red side to be able to double pick. Morgana, Nami. I don't think we see Morgana yet this year, but we have seen Yovana on Nami quite a few times. So those target bans of Soraka, Lulu, not really going to be that hampering. I think Nami is the most played champ for anyone on our team so far. Pretty sure. So then Kansas State, of course, gets 2 picks in return. Senna, I'd assume that's still Senna ADC. I'll be honest with you. I haven't really seen many teams picking Senna. She had a little short stint there, like a month or two ago, I believe. She was kind of back and then fell off again. But these picks are a little different just because going into it, you can't choose any of these characters again. By choosing them here, they are cut out. So there's a little more strategy that goes into the draft. You have to decide if you want to throw your best characters now, if you want to do a combination, all of that. The third pick for Kansas State is going to actually be the ADC, I'd assume, which leads me to believe Senna is support. So Misfortune, Senna, Akali, very squishy team at the moment, I think, relatively. Both sides, though. Going to be interesting to see what the ADC into that's going to be. It's going to be Corki. So a little bit of a switch up here, though. Once Corki's chosen, we'll go back into bans. As you can see, the Valpo ban box is now highlighted again. So both teams will get to finish their 2 bans out before any more picks are chosen. I'd assume these are going to get targeted at the jungler or the top lane because neither is chosen. Yeah, Poppy, I believe that's probably targeted at the jungler, another jungle ban. Yeah, because it's jungle top lane for both teams. Jarvan gonna get taken off the board. They're really talking it over over in Kansas. Yeah, they're gonna switch and ban a top laner, Fiora. They hovered the Jarvan there and decided to go a different direction, which is kind of interesting. Be very interesting to see if they ban another top laner or if they go with a jungler. Um, Not really sure if those support bans are the best. Usually, support is not the character you tend to use multiple bans on. Then these are jungle bans for sure. A Lilia ban coming in, so targeting the Kansas State jungler from the Valpo side. And then final ban could go either way. It's going to be a Jarvan this time. Uh, unless this is their trick, they hover Jarvan the entire time, and then at the end they switch it very fast. Nope, Jarvan is going to get banned. So then Valpo gets another pick here. They're going to go Viego into the jungle. So far, yeah, I don't see anything that raises a red flag in my limited league knowledge on the other side. Obviously, you're blind picking this jungle, so gonna go Wukong. Okay. I like Wukong personally more than Viego. Um, Wukong's gonna be very not lane intensive to my understanding until level six. Wukong's just trying to get to level six to unlock that ultimate. The CC ability is just one of the best in the game. And I mean the area when you can get your clone spinning as well is just massive for them to all get knocked up. I mean, it's very easy to knock up an entire team as Wukong. And then Sejuani. So there is going to be the tank for Kansas State. I would assume some kind of bruiser then here in the top lane. Um, Unless somehow Akali was the top laner, but I very doubt that. So maybe something like Ambessa's band. Um, Unless they're going double tank, but then they don't really have a character I feel that does well at treading a tank either, which is interesting. So set, yeah, a little bit of a bruiser pick. Then Valpo also doesn't really have a tank, so it'd be interesting to see what happens in the top lane. Uh, I'm not sure what they've been playing recently because there hasn't been a game in a little bit, but we'll see. Aatrox, another bruiser. Um, Not sure about the Aatrox in the set matchup, honestly, but which is weird because I play top lane. I've played a lot of Aatrox. So that is going to be the draft for both sides. We're going to cut back here to me because, as you League fans know, we are going to have a bit of a waiting process again before it actually gets to start. Um, you know, not much you can do about it, unfortunately. But that's the beauty of the league, the 3 minute built in, and then just for safety, we do another 3 minutes on our side. So it'll be a minute. At home, you don't really you experience the first 3 minutes. I experienced the six total. Makes it a little hard for us to talk in chat, but that's okay. So just waiting for the game to start now. Valpo has readied up. We're gonna restart. I'm not texting, I promise. I'm looking up the Aatrox into who was it? Aatrox into set matchup. Because I don't, as far as I know, Aatrox is not like meta right now, but that could just be something about like avoiding, using some of your best picks right now. I know we've seen a very good Ambessa game out of the law in the top lane for Valpo in the GLEC, and I'm not seeing anything about a bad matchup really for Aatrox when it comes to set. I will look in reverse just for those of you that want to know. Um, let's see, um, set is going to have a tough matchup against Aatrox. Yeah, okay. So Aatrox is favored as far as I can tell, which does make sense because of the ability to heal when you're Aatrox, off of landing your abilities and stuff, and the ability to pull set in your dash, as long as you can just kind of like dash out of the I think it sets W, whatever the one is that gives them all the shield, you can avoid that. I'd say you're in a pretty good spot. I The only big issue I think I've got here is can Corki do enough damage to cut down a tanky Sejuani? Like, I'm not sure about the Morgana mid and how much damage is getting produced there. I'd be a little skeptical that it's a lot, but we'll see. I think that there's a possibility that Valpo doesn't do enough damage. Uh, then once Misfortune gets, I'd assume Infinity is still of worth on Misfortune. So once those crit chances start hitting, it'll get a little dangerous because Wukong isn't the tankiest of junglers, and then Morgana, Corki, Nami will just pop like balloons. Aatrox will have a little bit of sustain, but I wouldn't say there's really a true tank. I don't know if Aatrox is going to try to build tank items, but say definitely more of like bruiser in my mind. So spectator delay, waiting for it to kick in. You get another couple minutes here with me, 2 minutes and 50 seconds actually. So I'll probably just cut it and we'll sit here and we'll wait. I'll give you guys some good music versus me because I don't really have any more analysis. Actually, wait. Okay, no, I think that's just yeah, it just messed up. I was gonna say it rearranged the order of where the characters and where it said they were, but I was like, there's no shot we're about to see Sejuani support set ADC, so I'll probably just have to redrag once we get into the game. But yeah, we've got about 2 minutes, so I'm gonna hit us with be right back, and then I'll join you once we actually get to see some action. So, we are very close to making it in. Oh, no. As soon as I do that, it's... No. Are we for real? As soon as I switch it, right? It says unable to download spectator data. We've had nothing but disasters trying to spectate league games. Hopefully we get in here and get to see the game. Oh no, did it freeze? Wait. Okay. It appears we are back. It's kind of framey at the moment, but oh. What's the scoreboard button? Oh no, I've forgotten. Which button's the scoreboard button? Hitting every button right now, and I've yet to find. Oh, there it is. Whew. There we go. Oh, we're accidentally locked on Aatrox. Let me fix that for you. So, let's see, is everything where it should be? Yeah, we got Sejuani, Wukong, jungle, Aatrox set top, Akali Morgana mid, Misfortune Corki ADC, and Sinanami support. Yep, we have not missed any eliminations up till this point, so that's good. Seems Valpo is kind of down in CS. That makes me wonder if they tried to across the board, really. Kind of down in CS. That makes me wonder if they tried to do something together, but maybe not. I mean, we'll never know, genuinely. So yeah, I mean, this part of the game is just it's the laning phase. You can see the timers on the side. We've got a while before anything's spawning, so basically just surviving, trying to farm and stay up to speed on it. Wukong is gonna come across the middle and get spotted, but got some vision. Looks like Valpo might be interested in taking the dragon. Fight gonna happen mid here. Akali is gonna go in. I think Jakimbo's probably gonna die. Never mind, actually. They are scared enough of level 4 Wukong that they do not attempt to get the finish. Oh, I've knocked off the... Uh-oh. How did I... Oh no. How'd I accidentally, I removed the side people. I don't know what I did. Okay, we can look at gold spent now, though. I figured out which button that is. So, in parentheses is the amount of gold spent. In League of Legends, you're earning gold to buy items and such, which make your character stronger. So, even though some characters might be up in CS and be up in kills, it really doesn't matter as long as your gold spent is very similar, and it is pretty similar for most teams. The gold spent about 200 ahead, though, on Misfortune. In sitting on more gold. So Misfortune does have a decent lead. Everything else is pretty similar across the board. Oops. I genuinely don't know how I accidentally deleted it. Am I going crazy? Is there not? There's usually a thing on the side because that's how you see like timers and stuff, and I don't know what button I hit to... This is like taking me through the characters. That's the bar. H is the HUD. Uh-oh. Vision. Probably is gonna look to go in. Does get rooted by Jakimbo. Nothing dangerous gonna happen out of that. Yeah, I mean Morgana doesn't do much damage at the moment. Just a I believe that's not Lost Chapter. Is it just like a tome or I don't know? Just the book in the magic ring. Super Bear hit in the Kansas State jungle. Kansas State actually looks like they're gonna pursue this. Okay, well, they're going to, but they can't really actually do anything off of that, so. I don't know what button I hit here. With the delay catches up, someone might be able to fill me in on what button to pop it up so we can get their timers back. I genuinely don't know what button I slapped there to do that. Bot lane lead is there for Kansas State. It is a bit of a lead in the top lane. Everything else, though, pretty even. About where you'd expect. Kansas State, you know, playing very passive, to be honest. I feel like Corky just does not do enough damage to really contest. Miss Fortune should be doing more damage with the sword she's purchased. First dragon has spawned. Let's see. Oh, I just pinged the map? How'd I accidentally do that? Hopefully that does not show up on their end. I don't imagine why it would, but that's like really embarrassing if it did. Man, I apologize. I don't know what button it is, but I feel like I've hit every key and I've yet to get the symbols to pop out, or the like sidebars to pop up with the timers for summoner spells and ultimates. Excuse me. Not much action though so far. 8 minutes in, no eliminations. Kansas State is up in gold by about 1,000. Not even, but they are going to take that first Drake as well. And going to actually move into the red side jungle. Kali just gonna get a ward onto the buff, and they're gonna clear out the vision. So bot lane definitely needs to be careful. We saw in their game against Manchester to open the season, they did not do a good job of staying back, and they were caught out very often by the jungler just kind of camping the bot lane. So it really snowballed the lead for the jungler. Lots of eliminations picked up there. Lots of gold. Aatrox kind of fine at the moment. Down CS, but not too much. Take a look at the gold spent. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Across the board, I'd say the bot lane's got a little bit of a lead, but nothing too major. The Law is a tough man. We've oh no, I accidentally hit that off again. I wish I had the thing. Wukong is gonna get caught out. Gonna pop the ult. The Nami ult's still gonna come in. The flash comes out of Wukong. Wukong's not gonna get out. This is gonna be a triple kill if I had to assume. Actually, Jakimbo's there. I believe that was a TP. Could see it popping off. Also don't have any audio, which is crazy. You have audio, but none of it's coming through. We haven't been able to solve the problem with our stream computer about the audio coming into our headset. So the Valorant game we casted, I mean, anything we've done the past couple has been audioless. I need to get someone who knows a little more about one of the programs we have to use to come look at it for me, because I've not been able to find the solution. I know how a solution, but it makes the audio play again through the microphone, so I get no audio, so you don't get double audio. Corki is gonna go in. The bubble does land on Misfortune, but like I said, you know, in the draft, I'm worried about Valpo's ability to do damage. I don't think Corki is going to be able to do enough damage, especially now that Sejuani has Heartsteel. If Sejuani's able to really stack on Heartsteel, it's gonna get dangerous. I don't think your damage output from Corki is gonna be enough. Especially with this lead that Misfortune now has. Looks like he's building Bloodthirster. Gonna be able to stay in the lane for quite a while with that and not really need to worry about backing when health gets low. Can kind of just farm it back up off minions eventually. So, it'll be very difficult. Avoiding the Senate chain has been landing pretty often, but I mean, there's just no pressure. Already down CS, it's getting very difficult to continue farming because if a Misfortune Q lands like that, I mean, it just hurts. Take a look here at the summoners. Unfortunately, Akali is here. The ult's gonna come out. Akali might... Nah, Akali's not gonna die for this. The tower is gonna ramp up, though. It's gonna get 1 kill. Does it get 2? It does not. It does pick up 1 kill. Unfortunately, because of the ultimate, it goes to Nami. But here we see Jakimbo and Wukong. Fortunately, gonna die. I'm not sure Wukong's gonna be able to finish this kill. Yeah, Misfortune still had barrier. And I just don't think there's enough damage to really deal with Sejuani.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Press A swaps between teamfight and spectator mode. Not in spectator mode. A is just changing the like HUD for me, I believe. Trying to figure out what the button is that makes their symbols appear along the side of the screen again, because I can't see their flash timers or anything, and that is going to be Nami falling. It looks like they still want to fight here. Morgana is coming over, but I mean they just have no way to get on the flash out from Senna to avoid Wukong. They go back in with Akali here. Yeah, Wukong's in trouble. Yep. Not a great start here for Valpo in game 1. The root is going to come in and the finish out of Corki over the wall. Little Kobe, but Misfortune's pretty fed at the moment. 3-0, 4 assists, has an item already. So second Drake also going to go over to Kansas State. Not much happened in the top lane at the moment. It looks like Kansas State is also going to get the Herald. Take a look over there, but there's going to be no contest out of Valparaiso. Wukong's not even going to get there in time if they wanted to attempt it. So, no vision either on it, but Misfortune might have enough of a lead at the moment to where being without Senna is not too big of an issue. Corki is finally going to get first item, so now at the moment Misfortune's lead is not that big. Well, I mean it's still bigger, but both on one item, one fully completed item. no towers have fallen on either side yet, which is surprising with the lead and the what's been happening in the mid lane. It is under, or in the bot lane, I apologize. It is under half health though, and they are going to get onto it here, it seems. And, wow, that Senna just keeps getting the root. They are aware that Sejuani is along the bot side, and this vision will get cleared out of their tri-bush. Bunch of nothing happening in the top lane, pretty even. Sejuani has been stacking the Heartsteel though, so Valpo's gonna need to find an answer, and I'm not sure they have one for the amount of health that Sejuani is gonna have. Bubble is going to miss out of Nami. Wukong is in the, or that's Morgana's in the area actually. Sejuani there. Gonna be a massive knockup out of Nami, and then some more knockup here out of the Wukong. But look at the Sejuani, just so tanky, finally going to fall. But actually, Super Bear kept alive. I'm mind blown. This is gonna be a full wipe for Valpo, and no one is going to die. I just thought there was no damage. Akali needs to be very dangerous. These players are low, but they are going to pop very fast, or they're going to full wipe. Looks like Morgana is possibly going to survive. I mean, Nami's putting the skates on right now, buying a bunch of time. Morgana will escape, but now Akali has 6 eliminations, which is just not great if you are a Valpo fan. Set diving under tower. Not sure Aatrox is the character you want to do this against. Is actually just going to pop like a balloon. Was that? It wasn't. Oh, was it? I can't tell because I don't know what the button is to pop the things back up. But it's still a lead. I think the lead kind of got cut down there though. That was a great play in the bot lane. Unfortunately, under tower, just able to be dove for the top laner, the Law. Trying to save this mid tower. Are going to do it, but it's very low. So the next time this wave gets shoved, it's probably going to be taken by Kansas State. Yeah, I mean one or two autos out of Misfortune is gonna do it. They need to be very careful. Sejuani is inside the Valparaiso jungle here on the bot side. Need to not overextend. Set is also in the jungle on the top side. Corki getting kind of low, but Senna alone. The bubble doesn't hit, the root doesn't hit. If I hit I can turn them on. Oh, okay, it's these. Thank you. I don't know how what I did to accidentally turn that off. But this, I mean, this is so much better. At least I can see this now with no audio. Kansas State is going to be on the Drake, looking for their third. It looks like Valpo does want to contest. Going to find where Akali is, but it's going to get dangerous in a second. Nami is going to go down. The Drake progress has been slowed, but no Nami wave to get knocked up anymore for this fight, so Senna is going to just be able to zone with the root, and Aatrox will back. So that is the third Drake going over to Kansas State. Coffee spelled backwards. And then Kansas State actually looking to snowball this into the Otacon. The Herald does get dropped in the bot lane as well, so it's going to be very hard for Valpo and Wukong to get on this. Going to have to deal with that Herald first, so you know, Kansas State played a very good game 1. A 500 gold bounty on the Akali, which is going to be difficult to find. Akali's movement ability is going to make it very difficult for a Nami bubble to land, I think. Possibly the ultimate, but yeah, I mean, 6,000 gold advantage for Kansas State here, approaching the 22-minute mark. of this game. Definitely not out of reach for Valpo, but it's going to take a really nice team fight. I believe Kansas State's goal probably is to get that 4th Drake, just kind of buy time and not throw. Senna could get caught out here, but yeah, this route has just been terrible for Valpo. They have been grabbed at every single opportunity for it. Oh, I'm in. Wukong just popped. Akali is so powerful at the moment. There's just no one who can really survive that onslaught. There's no true tank for Valpo at the moment. Aatrox kind of getting cornered here. Just actually some deep vision going to get placed by Senna. So Sejuani is, you know, probably just toying with them. Kind of gets tickled. Very, very tanky. Corki is just not doing any damage. No tank shred at all. Morgana is going to stop the back, so, I mean, that's a bright side. Law needs to be very careful. He's going to get the pull in. Gets the tower shot as well, so actually winning that fight, surprisingly enough. Which, with how it's been going, not what we've been seeing. Gonna stop the back again, just harassing the set, which is amazing. You know, if you can buy as much time as possible, it's gonna be great. You know, you look at the back, looking to spin that gold, has over 1,000 in the bank, looking to get spent onto an item possibly. Baron will spawn in another minute. As you can see, Kansas State already getting into that topside jungle for Valparaiso and getting vision and taking control for this Baron. I think the game might be over if Valpo can't get this Baron. It's going to be very hard to sustain when all 3 tier 1s are still standing for Kansas State. Morgana is also going to have to match set here, so, you know, Kansas State's just running the map at the moment. They have no counter. Looks like they're actually just going to press the issue and not go and wait for the Baron. The root is going to come down onto Aatrox, but that tier 2 in the mid is going to fall, and Valparaiso is going to have to give it. Baron has spawned. Drake also comes up. Valpo, not sure if they would want to sacrifice the 4th Drake for the Baron. It appears not. Aatrox is kind of going in at the moment. Will get out, but that root's going to hit Nami, and this is an opportunity for Sejuani to go in. Sejuani's does have ultimate at the moment. Pretty much all ultimates and all summoners up for this fight. Get spoiled by the chat, I think, because we're slightly behind. Yeah. The game does get paused, unfortunately. I mean, look at that. Literally about to fight and the game gets paused. So, hopefully that doesn't take too long for it to get unpaused. Oh, yeah, it comes back. There we go. Straight back into it. Sejuani does go in. This ult could be huge if Sejuani does throw it, or Sejuani did already throw it out. The Akali will fall. Akali's kind of been the oh my. Oh. Did that set crit all 3 of them? Am I crazy? Did that set, I think it's W, crit all 3 of them? Is that like the luckiest thing I've ever experienced in my life? That guy's ever experienced? Lucky thing you've ever seen? Well, the gold lead's at about 10,000 now for Kansas State. So Baron will also go over to Kansas State, and I think this game is pretty much over. Best of 3 though, so series not done yet. Kansas State did, I think, just have a better comp. Super Bear gonna go in, gonna get the knockup, but Kali is still going to survive. Actually gets knocked up again. Oh my, that was just a pop. And the rest of the team is just going to get pulled in here by NECC. Corki trying to survive, not going to be able to. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have anything to get out, and that should be game 1. Somehow Morgana is alive on like 1 HP, is going to die to the E out of... Was Mel banned this game? No, so you'll hear that in 3 minutes, about after you ask. So, Mel was not banned, and that is going to be game 1, going over to Kansas State. Unfortunately for Valparaiso. I think that was a little bit of a draft differential in my mind. The draft from Kansas State just looked way better. There was just a lot more damage coming through than there was gonna be from Valpo. Even if Valpo got fed, the Corki just doesn't do too much damage. So we will wait for the next draft to start here. Waiting for everyone to get back into it. So I will get back with you when the draft for game 2 starts. All right, welcome back. We are getting into the draft again for game number two. Two of the same bands as last time for the side of Kansas State. Valpo did lose, so they did choose to stay on the red side. That was their choice. They could have switched back to the blue side. Two of the same bands again for Valpo. Go look at that third band coming for Kansas State. Will it be Lulu again? It will be. That's funny. Um, I don't remember what the third band was for. I think it was it Nocturne or was Nocturne on the other side? I don't remember, but the Jinx and Bessa ban happened last time. I'd love to see someone in the ADC role for Valpo that does more damage than Corki. I just don't think Corki did enough damage to deal with that in Nocturne. So the first three bans are all the same. This is Fearless. Apparently they didn't tick the Fearless setting on, or there's maybe somewhere I can go to see that. Oh, it just doesn't show us. Okay. Well, none of the champions can be the same. Karma, that's a new champion for Kansas State. Probably going to be the support pick, I would assume. Now Valpo gets two choices. They prioritized support ADC, I believe, in the last one. Interesting to see if that is the case again, knowing Karma is going to be in the bot lane most likely. Smolder. Really? Okay. Smolder ADC. We'll see. We'll see about that. I don't know how I feel. I don't think they've played a Smolder game this year. Um, or if they've been practicing it. I'm not sure. But gonna see Emilio support, so Valpo getting that bot lane locked in before any more bans can target them. Karma Caitlyn gonna be in the bot lane for Kansas State. Now it's just what direction do they want to go? Because last time they went straight with their mid pick onto Akali. Must have been it was a one trick Akali or something. Just wanted to get that game out there and get the win on it. So we'll see where we go. Going to the jungle with Jarvan. They banned Jarvan last time, so they're gonna take it early this time. Um, Before he could get banned in that second round. See if Valpo goes with the jungle here, I would assume, just knowing that Jarvan's gonna have to play the jungle. He has Zac coming out. I know Zac is a staple pick for Super Bear on the Valpo side, so hopefully get to see a little bit better performance. I think the Wukong pick was fine, honestly, in game one. There was just no damage to back it up. There was a lot of knock up and a lot of CC there from Wukong, just not a lot of damage after. Cassante going to get banned out of the top lane from Valparaiso. Kansas State's going to ban um something top jungle related, I'd assume. Just because, or no, not top mid related. My apologies. Jungle has already been chosen in Zac, so I'd assume mid. Mid is our best player. Gonna get rid of Jax though. Then last ban here for Valpo gonna be Volibear. Um, just in, I'm curious if they play like Volibear top lane or something. Um, no clue. Then a Urgot ban. That one's very interesting to me. I think that's the most interesting ban out of all of them. I don't know if I take the law to be an Urgot player, but you know, maybe. Alpo gonna get their first pick here. It will be either mid or top. It's gonna be top Yorick. I think I like that pick. There definitely was no side lane presence in the last game for Valpo. Getting Yorick with the maiden and the ability to just kind of run it down the lane and continue to play in the side lane and force someone to come match you is definitely going to be crucial. And they do have a tank now in Zach, which I like. This draft for Valpo is looking way better. I'm not sure how I feel about Smolder. In that ADC role, unless it's getting flexed to mid somehow. Oriana mid for Kansas State, pretty typical pick right now. From what I've been seeing, and then the top laner for Kansas State will be Yone. I mean, theoretically, I guess Yone could also be in the mid lane, and I don't know. I would assume top lane though. Then the mid laner here for Valpo is going to be Xerath? Okay, I can rock with that. Signature Zac coming out for sure, for sure. So draft is going to be finished up here for both sides, which means we've got the like 2 hour long wait before before we get in, and then at least like one league crash. It's not failed yet. I don't think I've loaded into a single cast of league so far where it did not crash going into the game. So going into game number 2 here, Kansas State does have the lead 1-0. Both teams are readying up, which means they have to pick their champions, and then they bleed out this entire 85 seconds, and they don't fully lock in, right? And then I get hit with another 2 minutes and 50 seconds of waiting. So I'm gonna cut to be right back, just so I can sit here. I mean, I don't go anywhere, but not much for me to talk about. Actually, I could see where the characters are going. It is going to be Yone top lane, Oriana mid. So what I assumed from the beginning. But yeah, we will be right back. Hopefully, we don't hit a crash here when I go to open the game and get us into it. But yeah, about 2 minutes or 3 minutes now, I guess, at this point. So don't go anywhere. I'll be back in about 3 minutes with game number 2. All right. This is a bit of a first ever. I apologize. One second. Get you
Welcome
audio.
to Summoner's
Um,
Rift.
First ever. It didn't crash. We actually came into the game on time. First time that's happened all season. A little bit of trading here in the mid lane.
30
Karma
seconds
looking
until
to
minions
walk
spawn.
across. Smolder definitely feel like has vision there. But not going to react unless there's no vision there. I mean, I guess I can see. Oh no, wait, Karma's in the bush. For some reason, felt like the bush was farther down, but they are walking towards Zach, trying to push him away to get that ward in onto the chickens. Yeah, Kansas State is going to get that ward down.
Minions have spawned.
Um, whoops, I just noticed an issue. I gotta fix this real quick. Uh-oh. Gotta update. We're on map 2, not map 1. So some back and forth here, a little poke action, some deep vision for Kansas State into the Valpo jungle, but nothing too severe. Summoner spells, pretty similar. Smolder taking TP is going to be a little interesting. But other than that, everything's pretty standard, it seems, going into game 2. This is do or die for Valpo, being a best of 3 series. Gonna need to win this one if they want to continue playing. And the bot lane already struggling. I mean, Smolder's half health. That is not good. Smolder needs to be able to stay in the lane and get as much farm as possible and stack that Q up if he wants to start doing damage further into the game. This is definitely gonna be a long one. If Smolder is gonna need to get, or Smolder is gonna get online. Get him. Why did? Oh no, just taking damage from the chickens. My bad. For some reason I thought Zach like had someone on top of them, but that's not it. Bot lane is gonna get this wave shoved under their tower. Kansas State's bot lane has kind of had priority and pressure and the advantage all throughout the first game, so it'll be interesting to see if that is the case here. And that wall does just miss, but not much place for Yone to go. I would assume this matchup does kind of favor York. A lot of matchups I feel like do. They'll throw that on Yone because even if Yone uses E and extends from the body, there's not much place for Yone to go. York will just walk to where you're gonna snap back to and wait. Or even worse, throw up the W and put you inside the walls. Jikimbo getting kind of low on mana here. Trades back and forth, pretty even health-wise for the mid lane battle. Smolder getting really down in CS, which is not a good sign. Obviously, Caitlyn, has more range. Jarvan looking to go bot, gonna turn around and just go for the crab, actually. Xerath gonna get a solo kill, or maybe that was assisted by Zach. Okay, yeah, Zach did assist. I apologize. I'm not sure why the directed camera did not take us over there. Or if it did, I guess I wasn't paying attention. Gonna look for another TP coming in out of Orianna. So smart move out of Valpo to back away and not force the issue with Jarvan, even though they did have a small fraction of time where Jarvan was alone. I think that's a good not to force. I think it's very easy to try to force something in that situation, but good on them not to. The spot lane lead is growing very fast, 33-19, which is not looking good for the Valparaiso University side of things. Mid lane though, gonna have a bit of a lead. Haven't had a back out of Jikimbo to actually buy anything yet with that lead, but he's gonna have the 1 kill advantage. Boulder just needs to work on stacking. Needs to be careful. Doesn't get rooted here. Does get out of it. Milio able to kind of dissuade them from going all in, but gonna be a back out of Valpo. Going to possibly lose a wave here, but just going to have to, looking at the health bars. Even mid lane kind of down in CS at the moment. Zac gonna come in here onto Orianna, is gonna get the root, gonna get the stun as well out of Xerath. I'm not sure Orianna's gonna be able to get out of this. Is actually, well, we'll do so. I thought there was gonna be a little more damage out of Xerath, but I guess not. Xerath is also level 5, not gonna be able to ult yet. Orianna decides to go back in. Not sure that's gonna be the right play. Xerath's very low, but the flash coming out of both does have ult now, but is going to get rooted and pulled back in. Ult there for Xerath, but Xerath is going to die. That is not going to be good. Luckily, Zac will get out, but yeah, Xerath overstayed the welcome. Does get one, but going to throw a kill onto that Orianna and probably make it worthwhile with the CS lead that the bot lane is building for Kansas State. Lost chapter coming in for Xerath. Gonna get the root, but okay, good flash there out of Milio to avoid the Jarvan. Good flash. Gonna need some vision though. Xerath ult coming in. Caitlyn's probably gonna die to that, I would assume. Oh no, wait, Xerath did cancel. I'm not sure if all the charges were shot yet. Yorick kind of all in, has the maiden now, just what you're looking for with Yorick. Now to just bully Yone back under the tower until it's whittled down. Look, that is a massive wave. You're gonna have the little minions jumping on. Valpo taking the first Drake here. Gonna be a bit different. I don't think they got any objectives, any neutral objectives in the last game, so already off to a much better start. Stun gonna hit from Xerath, gonna do some more poke damage. But just a bit of a brawl here in the top lane. Yone needs to be very careful. Yorick does a deceiving amount of damage, especially if he lands an E on you. And the Maiden and his little minions start focusing you. And I mean, Yorick is just not missing the E at the moment. He does find Yone in the W. Not willing to go under tower yet to risk it, which is good because Yone does still have flash. Super Bear getting attacked at the bot side. River will get out. Orianna's not able to get over there to help Jarvan with that play, but that could have went pretty bad, pretty fast. Yone gonna invest TP to come back to the top lane, and at the moment, very even game. Jarvan does go in there. He's gonna have to tank a tower shot. Not really gonna do much. Jarvan pretty healthy. Xerath needs to definitely be careful down in CS, but I mean, just getting zoned off here by Jarvan, it's just not going to help your numbers. Smolder looking to go in. Milio getting pushed back by Karma. Orianna needs to be very careful. Does have ult, but no flash, very low. Xerath ult is about to come up. This could get dangerous for Orianna. Not sure if the ult is coming out. The ult is coming out. Getting saved. Will land one. Could be very dangerous. I mean, if this Q... Oh! Zac goes in. Gonna get away. Slams them together. This is the Zac we were talking about. Flash out of Jarvan. I don't think it's going to be enough, unfortunately. I think he's still going to die, right? Xerath lands surely? Oh, no. Does not land a Q. Or if it doesn't do enough damage. And Jarvan's going to go into the jungle. Or Zac's going to go into the jungle hunted. Sees Jarvan. Decides it's in the best interest to back out. And just back. Not looking to take anything. Fight happening, though, in the top lane. Pretty even both ways. The snap, though, is not going to be beneficial. We'll use the Q dodge to get out of the E of Yorick, which is a great move, but not really what you're looking to use it for. The Maiden might go down. Will go down, which is great for Yone, but Yone has just been getting bullied. I am surprised the CS lead is as even as it is there in the top lane. Take a look here at golden bank and gold spent at the moment. Pretty even gold spent across the board except for Zac. Zac does have a lot more gold spent. Going to be a lot more useful than Jarvan when it comes to these fights. And about 500 more gold spent by Xerath. But, oh, well, Caitlyn does have a lead. Kind of the only bright spot, I'd say, at the moment for Kansas State here in Game 2. I wouldn't say... the mid lane or the top lane is a bad spot, but I'd say it's pretty even at the moment. unlike the jungle where um, there's a pretty solid lead being built by Zac, and they are getting, or Zac is going to invade. I apologize. No Drake up. Are gonna lose the grubs though, all three of them, but gonna get an invade, steal some of it away, get the chickens. Looking to get the red buff as well, so probably worth the trade. Grubs would be great with a Yorick, but you know, you can steal that away. Ult coming out, Xerath looking to get Orianna very low, charging up the Q. I don't think it's going to be able to get in range. Yeah, W is going to miss as well. Needs to be very careful. Jarvan is coming. E does not land. Flash still on Xerath. No flash on Jarvan, so I think Xerath's fine. Going to get to the blast cone. Going to use it. Get back into tower safety. But Jarvan is going to be making his way down here through the bot river. And there's plenty of vision for Valpo. There's double ward there, so they should be fine. Ult going to come out of Caitlyn. Zac is in the area, though. Going to look to protect. Probably going to get down. Might be able to get the respawn off, though. Not sure if Milio and Smolder can keep Zac alive. Zac should respawn. Oh, no. Take it down just before the respawn goes out. So they are going to find Zac, which is a great find. No one from Kansas State dropping there. All kind of got semi-low, but no one really in too much danger. Yorick still bullying Yone. I mean, Yone has been under tower this entire game. The Law has been playing Yorick to perfection, I'd say. This is exactly what you want when you're locking in the Yorick pick. The mid lane matchup's going a little bit differently this time than the last one. So Kimtech Drake will spawn in. Valparaiso's jungler on the top side of the map, coming down. Jarvan, the Kansas State jungler, going upwards. Waiting for those raptors to respawn. Gonna see they're not there, so gonna wrap around. Not sure if they're gonna try to Drake. They have bot priority. Could be looking for it. Maybe not. Xerath kind of hovering towards the top side. And yeah, Jarvan will start that Drake, and Karma and Caitlyn going to move away, so I think that should give Valpo the idea that they are contesting this Drake and starting it up. Super Bear going to get vision onto Karma. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get in. 1,500 left on this Kimtech, and yeah, Spite is going to go down. No fight's going to happen. Smolder and Milio need to be very careful with Jarvan in the area, and that Tribush is warded. Even with Zac over here, Zac does have plenty of range, but Caitlyn can make you pop if you step in a trap and then get Q'd and R'd, because R is ready to go on Caitlyn.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Turret plating about to fall. No one really in a position to take any plates at the moment, as far as I can tell, so not too big of a deal for anyone. Zac is going to engage, or attempt one, onto Karma. Not going to land. Going to stop that back timer, though, for Caitlyn, which could be of big help to the Valpo bot lane. Yorick needs to be careful. Jarvan does appear to be making their way up. Gonna take a stop at the crab, but no one really that close. Zac is in the topside jungle, but gonna be occupied on that buff. Vision will come out, so Yorick should play pretty passively here after getting the last minion. Zac gonna look for the engage onto Jarvan. It is gonna land, actually. Yorick not able to get there. The E does not land. They need to be very careful. To jump back in, it's just not going to work out for Jarvan. Yeah, I mean, Zac is just able to bounce over walls. Yorick might fall. Yone looking to get it. Does not actually secure that kill even. So, double kill going over to Valparaiso. The top laner and the jungler falling. No jungle objectives up at the moment. Tier 1 in the bot lane will fall, so not sure if Kansas State is going to be happy with sacrificing 2 eliminations for a tier 1, but that might be in their game plan. You know, that might have been something they were comfortable with happening. I apologize again. Let's see. I think this tier 1 in the top is going to fall though, so I definitely just was not worth it. Need some more help in that top lane or top river, I guess, fight for Kansas State. We were right about the signature Zac. I mean, Super Bear has just been playing fantastic this game. Are Kansas State starting the Herald? They are. And Zac is in the bot lane, so this is kind of free. Unfortunately for Valpo, no vision. That topside vision has definitely really been controlled by Kansas State. And then game 1 is controlled. Orianna needs to be very careful. Yorick Q is going to hurt. Zac engage. Flash out of Karma. So they pull out. Gonna just look to continue farming, or at least get out of vision for the next engage. Now Zac's going to move down onto the crab. Ocean Drake is spawning in a minute 19. So just looking to set up for that. You know, I think, funny enough, the same issues appearing here for Kansas State. They've not really got anyone too tanky. There's no one to absorb the damage, and then, you know, Caitlyn isn't exactly a tank shredder, I'd say. She's not the worst ADC at it, but definitely better options when it comes to getting someone that can take down a tank like Zac much faster. With Zac's engage, once he's on top of you, it gets pretty rough. Kansas State does have control of the of this bottom side river here with the Drake coming up, so they might be looking to start it, but vision getting cleared now by Valparaiso University, so it's gonna get questionable, especially because Kansas State does not have the lead. Only bright thing for Kansas State right now would be Xerath is top river and not in the area. Yorick needs to be very careful. But the collapse is coming in.
Never falter.
Not going to be able to get out. It's just going to get rooted. But I mean, look at that. Super Bear is taking no damage, really. I mean, that was almost the entire team. Xerath ult coming in to weaken them up. Kind of push them back. Is going to hit a double there and another. Last one will miss, but Kansas State, I don't think you're in a very favorable position here. You know, you don't want to give up the Drake. Gonna drop the Herald, yeah. Kind of gets to alleviate some pressure possibly, but Super Bears one away. That is a great stun. Gonna grab one, looking to grab the other. Gonna slam them together and pop the ultimate. Here comes the Smolder ult. Big ultimate though out of Yone in return, and just going to eliminate Smolder. That damage is no longer going to be there. Going to be relying on Xerath now to kind of put out the damage. Yorick will fall. On the side, Yone and Caitlyn dead. Pretty even. Both at top layers and ADCs dead, which is going to favor Valpo because Zac is beyond fed and there is no damage. Orianna is not going to shred. Is going to find the Milio though, but I would just assume both players are dead here for Kansas State. Yeah, not going to be able to survive. Double kill for Super Bear and a double kill for Jakimbo, and that Soul, or not Soul, the Drake going over to Valparaiso University. Great team fight there. I just don't think Kansas State was in a position to force the issue there. I wanted to force it and get that Drake, but just weren't positionally in a great spot. They were kind of surrounded from multiple sides, and once Zac got on top of them, it was just kind of too late. Uh-oh. Super Bear might be dead. Probably dead, yeah. Backing in the Dragon Pit did not pay off. The sweeper did find over the wall, and that's going to be the Otacon. That is a major mistake out of Valparaiso's jungler, giving up the Otacon after such a great fight. But Yorick is pushing the issue in the top lane, going to cause Yone to have to waste TP to get out of there and match, while the mid-tier 1 does get shredded by the bot lane duo for Valparaiso University. So not the worst thing in the world, but you definitely don't want Kansas State to get the Otacon again. That has been something they found in both games. Yone actually doing a lot of damage. Gonna invest the ultimate, but not going to find the kill. But does get flash out of Yorick. I think in the team fight at the moment, it still favors Valparaiso pretty heavily, just with Zac. There's just so much survivability there. Just ability to move around, get on top of you so easily. No real issue with dying. Can soak just a lot of damage, and then Xerath with the ultimate, that range damage is just gonna be really crucial for Valparaiso. I mean, as long as you know, Yone and Caitlyn are taken care of, I think the team fight is pretty poor out of Jarvan, Orianna, Karma. The mid laner, J-Specs for Kansas State, just not having the same performance that they were having on Akali. Caitlyn will get Infinity Edge here. Getting onto that second item after Smolder, actually, which is kind of funny because Smolder is down CS and has no eliminations to Caitlyn's 2. Ult coming out of Xerath looks like a bit of a bait tactic with Zac standing there, and it actually might pay off, but this is going to get risky. Jakimbo is kind of cornered, but Zac go to find Orianna. Orianna going to go down so fast. I mean, Zac is everything right now. Jarvan needs to be very careful, even if you could get on to Zac. Zac is full health and ready to go. No ultimate, but I mean, you can see that circle on the right side of your screen. It is charging up fast. Valpo looking to siege this tier 1 in the mid lane. Gonna find Jakimbo with the ultimate, but not really gonna be able to do anything off of it. Smolder ult does come out. Jarvan finally at the point where they're a little bit tanky, but that's ultimate pop, so Jarvan goes in. Jarvan has no way to sustain anyone in place. Yorick needs to be very careful. Does get caught with the ult from Yone. Has no flash. Probably just going to die here, yeah. Not a good fight to take from the Valparaiso University top laner. But that is going to be a kill for the tier 1 in the mid lane, which I think Valpo is okay with that trade. Only issue is someone needs to contest tier 1 in the top, because Yone is going to have a lot of free time on that and has a lot of attack speed. Hopefully Super Bear has not been caught out alone again. This would be really tragic. The team is coming. Super Bear does have a lot of health at the moment and a flash, and so they will pull out on the Kansas State side. Could have been very bad if they committed there. Actually, staying around, looking to get the tier 1, will get the tier 1. But this fight could go sideways fast if Super Bear can land on anyone. Not going to be able to find anyone. We'll hit that vision cone and kind of find where everyone is standing. Remove the vision. The vision in the mid bush will stay though, so a little bit of security for Kansas State. Xerath needs to be very careful. I mean, walking up to place that there is crazy. Gonna chunk about a fourth of the damage. Super Bear will land on top of the team that has no support at the moment out of the team. Jarvan ultimate comes in, Yone is here. Yone is the damage dealers. Alt popped by Zach, alt popped by Smolder. Zerath and Milio both down. No one down from the side of Kansas State. No one even that low. Super Bear just trying to buy his team time to get out. Smolder is going to be eliminated. Super Bear will also be, and Yorick left alone. Drake going to go over to Kansas State, and I am not too sure that Valparaiso is going to respawn in time to contest the Baron. They are all just getting caught out by Yone. Yone is the solo team, kind of feels like at the moment. And yeah, they are starting up that Drake without their jungler. They probably will have enough damage to do it. Not going to get low enough. I don't think Yorick's going to really be able to go contest that. Might be able to find Jarvan alone here. Is going to pay the price for the Baron, which is funny. Someone disconnected and reconnected. Not going to do anything. Oh, well, I forget that that's... You see here, it did pause again, just like the last game. Kansas State needs to work on their computers. We'll resume pretty quickly though, so not really any action missed. Baron buff going to be on 4 of the players for Kansas State, excluding Jarvan, which is kind of maybe the person you least need it on. Allows your jungler to go back into the jungle and continue farming and not need to worry about wasting that buff. No objectives up for a little bit. Kind of just back into a neutral game state. At the 27-minute mark, gold lead is in favor of Kansas State. But we'll take a look at Spent and in the bank. Smolder is definitely way behind, and Milio, unfortunately. But mid and jungle do have leads. Top is pretty even with how well Yone has been doing. So fight happening here. Super Bear left all alone, does pop the ultimate to buy some time. It appears to just be left out to his own devices by his team. No one is going to be able to get over there and help, and Yone is probably taking this tower with the ability to recall there. Has no concern. Is going to pop the ultimate and is going to get healed. This is not good for the Law. The Law is going to get found by Jarvan. Does not have flash anymore, and yeah, going to fall. And now Kansas State is going to be sieging the base with the Baron. I mean, we've seen this. This feels like deja vu for Valpo. They need to put a stop to the bleeding here, but it's going to be very difficult. I mean, at the moment, Smolder is alive. Very good at farming waves, especially with that stacked Q, but it's going to be very hard when these minions are powered up by the Baron, and all 5 members of Kansas State are crashing onto the base. That first tower is looking to fall. Smolder does ult the wave to try and remove it and get it out of the way. All players up except for Yorick for Valpo, so might be able to find an engage here for Super Bear. Ult is looking to come up. We'll grab 1, we'll grab 2, slam them together. Airboard for Karma will fall, still ulting, but Jarvan is just harassing the backline. Milio will fall. Zerath not able to find anyone. This Nexus is getting wailed on by the minions, and Kansas State will be able to finish it and end this series 2-0. Unfortunately for Valparaiso University, that will be the last game of this series, but you know, there were glimpses of hope. Did see some good moments there. I think they were in the lead for a majority of that game too. It just kind of came down to that last fight there in the bottom side river that turned into a dragon, and it turned into a baron. So sadly, you know, Valpo gonna fall 2-0 in that one to Kansas State. First game of NECC of the year. first fearless draft of the year in the game since the GLEC doesn't do fearless. So a little bit of a learning curve possibly. I think the draft in game two was definitely a lot better than the draft in game one for Valpo's side, but just a couple of mistakes, a couple of lost team fights, letting Yon get that multiplayer ultimate just was crushing in that last fight, and they were able to snowball that into Drake and the Baron. So that will be it for me tonight with League of Legends. That was the last game of the series. So tomorrow, 7 p.m. Overwatch versus Murray State, their first game of the season for NECC. No Smash Bros. Like normally. Um, have a bye week this week. So just Overwatch tomorrow, 7 p.m. start right here, twitch.tv/Valpo Esports. I will be back most likely. Might be joined by someone. We'll see though. But see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Bye.